So you guys want to know how you can edit your photos much faster? Well, keep watching, because in this video I'm going to show you how you can do it in less than 5 minutes using Adobe Lightroom. Coming up. Hey guys, Dushmeister here and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how you can edit a photo in 5 minutes or less using Adobe Lightroom. But before I do, if you are new to the channel, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my weekly videos. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just bump up the exposure just to 0.20, and the contrast we're going to bump that up to +50. For the highlights we're going to bring that down to -100. The shadows we're going to increase those to about +80. For the whites we're going to increase those to about +40, and for the blacks we're going to leave those. So for the texture, just increase that to +20 and do the same for the clarity, and we won't touch the dehaze at the moment. So if we go down to the vibrance, we're going to increase that to about +20. Lovely. Okay, so for our curves, let's we'll just punch in the points first. Lovely. Okay, so for our first point, for the input you're going to put in 0, and output we're going to put 10. Lovely. So for our next point, for the input you're going to put in 36 and 34 for the output. Lovely. So for our third point you're going to punch in what did I put, 57, yep, and 60 for the output. Lovely. For our fourth point we're going to put in 120 for the input and 138 for the output. Lovely. And for our next point you're going to punch in 190 for the input and 208 for the output. And for our last point, we're just going to keep the input and output at 255, so we're not going to change that at all. Lovely. And that's our curves done. So moving on to the HSL. For the hue, we're only going to be affecting the blue for this one, so we're going to decrease that to about -20. Lovely. And for our saturation we're going to take the reds, bring those all the way down to -100, and we're going to do the same for the purple and magenta, and we're not going to touch the luminance, and that's our HSL done. So for our color grading, for our shadows, yeah, so just punch in these values. So for the hue we're going to put in 220 and saturation 20. For our midtones we're going to punch in 50 for the hue and 20% saturation, and for the highlights we're going to do 220 for the hue and 20 for saturation, and just make sure blending is set to 100. Lovely. So move down to our sharpness. So I usually like to keep my sharpness around 40%, and hold down Alt on the keyboard, or we can just click and drag our mask in to about, I think we'll do 80 for this one. Lovely. And for our noise we're just going to bump that up to about yeah, 20 is good. Lovely. And lastly, go all the way down to calibration, and for the blue primary we'll just increase the saturation to 100. Lovely. And that is looking pretty darn good. And there you have it, guys. That's how you can edit a simple photo like this in 5 minutes or less. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so again, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below with any thoughts or suggestions you may have regarding this video or anything else. Oh, and also, if you're looking for some cool Lightroom presets to try out, you can check out my new Retro Wave pack, which includes 5 custom presets that are completely free to download at tushmaster.com/presets. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed the video and the tutorial, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!